Hi, my name's Ciara from Ciara's Home Yoga. This is Gentle Yoga for Bedtime. We'll start seated on our mat with our legs crossed, or you can sit in a cushion or a bolster if that's more comfortable for you. We'll place our hands on our knees and we'll start with some seated cat-cows. We'll inhale, look up, shoulders back and down. Exhale, we curve into our spine, bringing our chin to our chest and our navel to our spine. And again, inhale, look up, chest open, shoulders down. Exhale, round in our spine, shoulders down, squeezing our navel to our spine. And we'll repeat this a few times, moving with our breath. Move at your own pace here, breathing deeply. You're welcome to close your eyes here, if that feels good for you. Last one. And release. We'll bring our left ear to our left shoulder now and point our chin up to the ceiling as much as feels good. Shoulders remain back and down here and we'll breathe deeply. If this feels too much, just bring your left ear to your left shoulder like that. And release, other side. Right ear to right shoulder and point our chin up to the ceiling as much as feels good. We feel into our belly here. Make sure we're breathing from our belly and not our chest. So our belly is filling up with air on our inhales and deflating on our exhales. And release. We'll make our way to tabletop now with our hands under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. Our chest is we're pushing our chest away from our mat here. We'll inhale, raise our right hand to the ceiling. Exhale, we'll thread the needle, bringing our right arm under our left hand for a twist. We'll push into our left hand here to increase the twist. Coming up onto our fingertips if that feels good, or you can bring your left hand to the top of the mat. We'll make sure that our left hip remains directly over our left knee and breathe deeply. Inhale back to tabletop and exhale, we'll check our alignment, making sure we're pushing, keeping our chest away from our mat. Inhale, our left hand to the ceiling. Exhale, we thread the needle at this side. Pushing into our right hand to increase the twist. Coming up onto your fingertips if that feels good, or bringing your hand to the top of the mat. Whatever option works best for you. Play around with both and find the option that works for your best for your body. Again, we'll make sure that our right hip remains over our right knee. It has a tendency to sneak out, so we'll check that. And breathe deeply here. Long, slow inhales and long, slow exhales. Inhale, back up to tabletop. We'll walk our knees back an inch or two and lower down onto our belly for some cobra flows. Hands under our shoulders and we're drawing our shoulder blades away from our mat and down our back. We'll inhale, come up to cobra, shoulders down, elbows tucked in. Exhale, lower back down. And we'll repeat this a few times. Again, making it a moving meditation by moving with our breath. Moving at your own pace here. The pace that works best for you. We're squeezing our elbows into our body as we come up. Exhale, lower back down. One more time. And release. We'll push ourselves back up to tabletop now, and we'll open our knees as wide as our mat. Bring our big toes to touch. Sit on our heels and we'll come forward into child's pose. And breathe deeply here. In this pose, we're drawing our chest to our mat. We'll bring softness to our face here. Check in behind our eyes and our jaw, and we'll release any tension there. We'll come back up to tabletop now. Again, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. I'm just going to tuck my top in very quickly. We'll tuck our toes and we'll lift our hips up to come into our only down dog of today. You can keep a generous bend in your knees here if that feels good to you, or you can have your legs straight, whatever works best. We're drawing our chest to our thighs and our tailbone to the ceiling. You can walk your feet out here if that feels good. Breathing deeply. Before coming to stillness, we'll inhale the day we just had. And a long, slow exhale through our nose to release the day. We'll step forward with our right foot between our hands. And we'll stay in our lunge for a few deep breaths, coming up onto your fingertips. We're activating in our back leg. So we feel like we're pushing through our heel, breathing deeply. We're squeezing that back leg, lengthening in our spine. And release. We lower our left knee to our mat, untuck our toes, and we'll step back with our right foot before stepping forward with our left foot and coming back up into our lunge again and repeating on this side. Squeezing our right leg so that all the muscles are activated. It's really hard to touch. This activates the relaxation response when we let this go. Releasing any tension from our legs. Breathing deeply here. And release. We lower the palms for hands to our mat and we're just going to step back to down dog one last time very quickly so that we can walk our hands to our feet to come into ragdoll pose. Again, a slight or a generous bend in your knees here, whatever works for you. Shoulders are away from our ears and we can hold on to the opposite elbow with each hand and slowly rock from side to side. This is a great pose for our nervous system, so a great one to do before we go to bed. We'll bring our attention to our breath here. And release, lowering our hands to our mat, walking our hands out, and we'll bring our knees to our mat. We'll cross our feet behind us and we'll come to sit on our mat. Again, you can sit on a cushion or a bolster here if that feels better for you. We'll inhale, our arms up, look up, and we'll clasp our hands together. Looking straight forward, we're straightening our arms drawing our elbows back and breathing deeply. It's a great stretch for our shoulders when we release this. If you need to take a break at any time, bend our elbows and straighten up again. And release, switching out our hands in the other direction. Clasping in the other way. And breathing deeply, drawing our elbows back here. Straightening through our arms and release. That's a strong pose. We give our arms a shake out. We'll move with our breath again now. So we'll inhale our right hand up. Exhale, stretch to the left. Inhale, flow to the other side. Exhale, feel into the stretch. Dropping this shoulder away from our ear. And again, we'll repeat this a few times, moving at your own pace and moving with your breath. Inhale, flowing to the other side. Exhale, feeling into the stretch. And release, coming back up to center. We'll extend our legs on our mat now and bring our right foot to our left inner thigh. We'll inhale our arms up. Exhale, we lean forward, keeping our shoulders back and down and lengthening out of our spine. Bring our hands to our mat here. Give me your hands to your thigh, your shin. Hold on to your big toes and breathing deeply. In this pose, we're going to befriend our mind with a meditation practice. So wherever our mind goes, we'll say yes and then return our attention to our breath every time. So if our attention goes into the day we just had, yes, and back to our breath. If our attention goes into the preparation we have to do for tomorrow or an event tomorrow, yes, and back to our breath every time. If you need to take a break at any stage, come up, shake your body out and return back into the stretch, breathing deeply, watching where our attention goes. On our inhales, we're lengthening out of our spine, shoulders back and down, and exhale, we're seeing if we can fold forward even a millimetre more, breathing deeply. Inhale back up to centre, and exhale, we'll switch out our legs, bringing our left foot to our right inner thigh, flexing our right foot. We'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Again, watching our attention here. Befriending our mind. Wherever our attention goes, to an emotion we're feeling, analysing the day we just had, yes, and back to our breath. We're teaching ourselves here not to react to where our thoughts go. Bringing our attention back to our breath. And release. We'll come to lying down on our mat now. Hands on our knees and lower down one vertebrae at a time. We'll bring our feet behind our bum, hip distance apart, shoulders back and down on our mat, and we'll bring our left ankle to our right knee before moving our right knee into our chest, holding on to the back of our thigh, flexing both feet here. Shoulders remain down our back. And we'll breathe deeply. Again, we'll work the muscle that focuses our attention on our breath. We'll do something different here. We'll bring our attention to our breath, as always, and any time we lose our attention, we'll label it past or present. Or one that I use is analysis. And now isn't the time for analysis. So we'll return our focus to our breath if we get lost in thought every time. Breathing deeply. If your right foot starts to fatigue, we can relax our foot on the back of our thigh. Breathing deeply, watching our attention, bringing our focus back to our breath every time. And release, bringing our feet back to our mat again before moving our right heel to our left knee and our left knee into our chest, holding on to the back of our thigh, flexing both feet here. Shoulders remain down our back and breathe deeply, focusing on where our attention goes. Connecting to this moment right now by focusing on our breath. Labeling our thoughts, past, present, analysis, future, and returning our focus to the present right now with our breath. Or you can feel into the sensation in your right hip and breathe deeply, breathing like we did at the start of our practice when we move with our breath. Long, slow inhales and long, slow exhales. Relaxing your left foot onto the back of your thigh at any stage if you start to fatigue. And release. We'll bring our feet to the ceiling now and we'll do some ankle circles here. One way and another way. And change direction again. And one last time. For our last pose, we'll come to Supta Baddha Konasana. So we'll bring the soles of our feet together on our mat behind our bum, and we can drop our knees open to either side, shoulders back and down. If this feels too tight, too intense, you can move your heels further away from your bum or bring them closer to your bum for a more intense stretch, whatever feels good for you. As it's our last stretch, we'll be gentle with ourselves. So we'll pick a spot that feels comfortable. Close our eyes and we'll bring our attention to our breath and breathe deeply here. Doing the meditation style that works for you. Yes, when our thoughts appear, and bringing our attention back to our breath, or labeling your thoughts. We'll bring a smile to our face here as this relaxes all the muscles in our face. And release. We'll bring our knees together, roll to one side and push yourselves back up to sitting. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. Please consider subscribing to my channel at Ciara's Home Yoga. I upload a new video every Saturday to start the weekend connected to our body and our breath. Wishing you a great night's sleep tonight. Namaste.